DaBaby's career is kind of over at this point. He can't sell out shows. He doesn't get a lot of streams on his music, and his music is just kind of trash. And I feel like no one even really likes him. They just like him for what he was before then, and they don't really like him and what he's doing now. DaBaby recently just announced a tour, and he's been doing buy one get one free tickets. And on this one, they're $22 for 2 tickets, which is I think about a fourth of the actual price they were before, which is kind of crazy. DaBaby is an artist with like so many listeners, and he can't even sell out a venue of, I'm pretty sure it was 1,300 capacity. He also just doesn't make like good music. Like there's a song on his last album called No Condom, and I don't know anyone who wants to listen to a song called No Condom. It just sounds really stupid, and I feel like a lot of DaBaby's music has devolved from this super like upbeat sound, and now he's not making good music. He's super controversial, so it's like, why is there any reason to support DaBaby? DaBaby was also supposed to play at the Smoothie King Center where the New Orleans Pelicans play, where there's 14,000 people that could have watched his concert, and he was selling less than 500 tickets, and the prices were as low as $35, which is kind of crazy to me because DaBaby is an artist, who was super big, and he's just fallen off the face of the earth recently. I mean, there's a song with Dua Lipa that has over 1 billion streams, and DaBaby is just, he's not the same thing he was before all the controversy. And I feel like he's changed a lot, and his music has just gotten much, much worse. Another thing with DaBaby is that Levitating featuring DaBaby has over almost 1 billion streams more than Levitating without DaBaby, which is really interesting because that was a song that a lot of people thought was a really good song. I feel like a lot of people were saying that on like TikTok and stuff, and it's just a super popular song in general. I mean, it has 1.6 billion streams, and it's just something that's super crazy popular, and that was DaBaby just less than 2 years ago. Even the same thing with like his latest album, it's done so much worse than it did 2 years ago, and it's because the music has kind of fallen off, especially, he's got some weird songs called like No Condom, which might be the stupidest name for a song ever. And I feel like DaBaby's just gone from this guy who was originally corny but made, okay music, and he was just like a weird guy. I mean, he literally shot a dude in Walmart and killed him, which is a whole nother situation, but he's this guy that was controversial, but, at least made some good music, to now he doesn't make good music. He makes cringy music, and it doesn't sound good at all, and it's just, like, stupid, and some of his music videos might be the worst I've ever seen. It really just reminds me of some of the Gucci Mane covers back in the day when he was just pumping out mixtapes, like, every single week, maybe, but I just think it's kind of, he's gone from this artist that was so popular because his music was good to now his music isn't good, and they're realizing the controversy and everything behind DaBaby that was already there before doesn't really make up for how bad his music is. This is a tweet that I feel like perfectly encapsulates the situation. DaBaby's downfall makes me realize something. If the music is good, you will kind of continue to support that regardless of the controversy. DaBaby's music is not good because he's struggling to sell tickets. I mean, doing the BOGO deal for like literally $11 plus fees for a ticket that was $45 in, Birmingham, Alabama, where I feel like an artist with that many listeners probably would have enough fans, shows that DaBaby's music has, really fallen off, and people don't even want to see him like play Levitating and Bop and all the big songs he actually has. They don't want to see him play anything at all because DaBaby sucks. DaBaby's latest album only debuted at number 34 on the Billboard 200 and was sold out by albums that were already on the Billboard charts for more than a year or two, which is kind of crazy to me. But also, his last album that he released, I think it was Kirk, sold over 100,000 units. So that's a pretty much an 80% drop off from his last album, and it's only been like a year and a half since the last album. Also on Blame It On Baby, which was the last album, not Kirk, there was Rockstar, which I'm pretty sure was a number 1 single, and then now he has songs that don't even debut on the Hot 100 chart, which really shows that, all this controversy behind him, while he still does have a lot of monthly listeners and streams from his older songs, no one wants to see his new shit, and just no one really likes DaBaby anymore. I mean, there's no actual fans. He's kind of just like a TikTok guy now because people are just listening to the songs that were super famous on TikTok before, and they don't like his new songs that actually came out now. But I feel like no one actually really was a fan of DaBaby. It's kind of like one of those artists that they're like they have good music, but no one's actually like a fan. They're kind of like a rap caviar artist where it's like they're only famous because they're on these super big playlists, and they're not actually famous because people actually like them because they only have, 2 or 3 good songs, and now they don't make any good music, and you're just listening to the old stuff, so you don't want to go and see them in concert. And that's why DaBaby can't sell any concert tickets, because he's just, irrelevant and embarrassing. Another reason why people might not be going to DaBaby's concert is because all of his tours have been bad. If you look at this one where it says during Kirk's 2020 Up Close and Personal tour, he slapped a female fan on the way to the stage during his performance, and then people booed him off the stage, which is crazy because I don't know why you'd ever boo someone at their own performance, but I think DaBaby has fans that don't really actually like him, so I think that's why they are booing him. And I think that's probably one of the stupidest things to do. Like, it doesn't really matter what, to me, a fan does, like, to, like, disrespect me. You kind of have to take it as a performer, especially when you're on stage. And he said it was just because her flash was too close to him and that he hit her, which was like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, DaBaby? Like, why are you hitting someone because their flash is too close to your face? Just push them away. You don't have to slap her in the face, which is just another crazy thing. Another thing that happened was that at the Rolling Loud concert, he did say some homophobic stuff, which is another thing. I kind of feel like every time DaBaby does something bad, he's either at a concert or like a festival, or he's at a Walmart or his own house where he shot 2 different people, which is just another crazy thing. He shot someone in the middle of a Walmart because he felt like he was running up on him. He's a little bit too close and personal to his family, which is, really weird. I just think DaBaby is someone that people don't really like, and they never really liked in general. And now that there is a reason to not like him and his music isn't good as well, it kind of just all makes sense because DaBaby is an artist that, people didn't really like. It's kind of like Tory Lanez, where he actually fell off when the Megan Thee Stallion thing happened, but then he kind of gained something back because a lot of people like the color violet. This is kind of the opposite of that, with DaBaby making songs like No Condom and just other just really corny and stupid shit. It just doesn't make sense for people to support him when there's no good music coming out, and his music never really was that amazing in the first place. And there's always like the old music to listen to if you want to listen to DaBaby or that type of music. You don't need to listen to the new music. You don't need to support him because this is a guy that has beat up multiple people, slapped women, and just done a ton of other super assaulty stuff and just homophobic remarks. And he's done all these things that have just been disparaging to all kinds of people. Like, he's not just hit women. He's not just said stuff to homophobic people. He's not just killed people in a Walmart. He's done all these different things, which they all add up. And I feel like just his music is not good enough to make up for all this controversy. And it's like, who really wants to see DaBaby, perform Rockstar or Levitating or even No Condom? Like, no one wants to see that. So I don't get why, I don't get why anyone would want to do that. So I totally get why his career has fallen off. And I would just say, don't support DaBaby. Maybe if you want to like listen to DaBaby sometime, maybe watch it on YouTube or something, because that's the way he's going to make the least amount of money. And I would say definitely don't go to his shows unless you're buying from a reseller, because that's kind of funny. If someone tried to resell DaBaby tickets, they deserve to lose their money, because that may be the stupidest thing ever.